This week on Channel 8 News, we talk about a free tasting event, a visiting senator, and a visiting poet, and more. Channel 8 News starts right now. Thank you for tuning into Channel 8 News. I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
And I'm Alex Sanchez.
Last Tuesday, Audrey Chappelle had the opportunity to attend the public forum held by Claire McCaskill. Audrey?
Now it's time to start the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our Senator Claire McCaskill.
Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill visited Maryville last Tuesday. She hosted a town hall meeting to address citizens of Nottoway County at the Maryville Senior Center. She answered questions asked by the public and spoke about a number of issues. Some important topics included the problem with police brutality in Missouri and what needs to be done to solve this problem.
We can get back to a community policing model. Frankly, they've been so under-resourced in many of these communities because of the level of violence. They haven't, because we did away with the community policing funding from the federal level that occurred back in the 90s. We need to look at that again and try to give some help to some of these communities where they do have high levels of violence. Because it's not fair to police officers who want to approach a car not knowing whether or not they're going to be shot. And it's not fair to somebody who's black driving through a neighborhood who gets pulled over, they feel, just because they're black.
She explained the problems with the Dodd-Frank Act, which allows the government to control regulations of the financial industry.
One problem we had is we were so anxious to put that regulation out there. We did it with such a broad brush that we impacted a whole lot of banks that had nothing to do with that problem. The community banks, the banks that we want to see thrive in Missouri, not the great big banks. I'm talking about the kinds of banks that used to dot rural Missouri, and they still do, but not as many of them. And they're having to get bought by bigger banks who can afford the level of regulation they have now.
She talked about the importance of the Affordable Care Act as well.
So until we decide as a country that we're going to turn away people from the emergency room that don't have insurance, every uninsured person is going to cost you money. So that's why we all need to be invested in trying to get as many people health insurance as possible. Because if they don't have it, there's not a magic fairy somewhere that's paying those bills.
McCaskill also discussed the topic of student loans and what the government is trying to accomplish to lower the amount of student debt.
All this student loan debt out there is just keeping folks from being able to fully participate in the economy. They're not buying cars and houses because they've got all these student loans. It is a huge problem in our economy.
She said the students should take every opportunity to finish college sooner, and companies should allow students to refinance their loans after graduation.
But when I went to college, it was very unusual for anybody to take more than 4 years to get a degree. Well, now the norm is 5 years, 6 years. You know, whatever we need to do, I mean, maybe we give them a little more in a student loan or in a student subsidy on the understanding that you get this if you finish in 4 years, and if you don't, it goes on your bill. And maybe that would incentivize students to not worry so much whether or not they've got the right degree, but just go ahead and finish that degree and then move on and find the experience they want to find the career that is satisfying to them. So I've got a lot of ideas, and the one I mentioned in there is maybe one of the most important ones, the simplest one. It's the lowest hanging fruit. Let's let students that have student loans, after they get out, refinance them if they can for lower interest rates.
McCaskill hosted over 40 town halls in Missouri just this year in preparation for her re-election bid in 2018. Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Audrey Chappelle.
So thank you guys very, very much.
Thanks, Audrey.
Last Friday, Mayor Grace Rice attended Around the World in 10 Desserts. Mayor Grace?
On Friday, the Student Activities Council held the event Around the World in 10 Desserts. Students were invited to try different desserts from various countries. Erin, Fleharty, a member of SAC, described this event.
This event was put on through the weekend part of SAC. It was just we had 10 different countries and 10 different desserts that we catered to students that attended to let them know what desserts are famous in these countries and like why they're like the top desserts and like the history and how they were invented, how they came about, and like what different types of celebrations they are ate at.
Erin then mentioned why the event was put on.
Bree put this event on so we can like let other individuals know like what types of food other like countries have and what they like value, like what we value over here in America.
There were a wide variety of desserts served to the students from all over the world. Erin mentioned some of these countries.
We had some from like America and then Brazil, South Africa, Mexico, England, and then Nepal and India.
SAC strives to bring students together with its events. Erin describes how around the world the 10 desserts brought students together.
I realized I was able to interact with a lot of the international students and hear what types of dessert they have, even if it wasn't one that we served tonight. So it was cool to hear what they have for dessert over from where they're from and how it coordinates with what we had tonight. And I think it was just a great activity to have to push what we know about all these other international countries to the students who might not know about every country individually.
Finally, Erin explained what some of the Student Activity Council's upcoming events are.
In December, we're going to be hosting Chase Rice. He's going to come put on a concert. And then we're just going to have homecoming activities around homecoming. And just I know Callie has some late night on Thursday night activities planned. Emily's doing great on the homecoming weekend. And I think Asma might have another fun lecture coming up soon enough. So we like to keep them posted. So when we know a lot more, when they get closer, we'll post them on all the social media websites and around the union and everywhere on campus.
Many students attended this event. Maddie Glass, a student at Northwest, explained her reason for attending.
I just wanted to try the different desserts that they had. I thought it'd be really cool. And I just saw it on a poster thing in the union, so I was like, sure, might as well.
Students had the opportunity to try desserts they had never tried before. Maddie described what her favorite dessert of the evening was.
Overall, my favorite dessert was the milk tart from South Africa. I liked how it kind of tasted like vanilla pudding, and if you moved it, it jiggled. It was kind of cool. Yeah, it was really cool just trying all the different desserts, and some of them were good, and some of them were not the greatest, but.
Maddie described what she liked about this event and why she will be attending more SAC events in the future.
I will be attending more SAC events because I really liked how welcoming they made you feel, and I liked the different things that they do. Last time they did grocery dinner, and that was really cool. And this is really cool how you get try different things from around the world and not actually be in those countries. Desserts bring everyone together.
The Student Activities Council has planned a multitude of events for students to attend, so check the university calendar for updates. This has been Mary Grace Rice reporting for KNWT Channel 8.
Thanks, Mary Grace.
When we come back, we'll take a look at your Northwest event report. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Alex Sanchez.
And I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
On Monday, October 16th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Materials Distribution Center, individuals are invited to review items being offered during Northwest's next surplus sale, which is set from 9 a.m. Tuesday, May 17th. Items to be sold include, but not limited to, miscellaneous computer equipment and supplies, notebooks, desks, file cabinets, chairs, wood bookshelves, and more. For more information, go to www.nwmissouri.edu/services.
October 16th from 9 to 10 a.m. in the Union 3rd Room Floor Tower View Dining Room, Tanya Riley will be holding a session over anxiety and stress. Since our society is on the go, many people face emotional instability because they have no time for themselves. If you're experiencing high levels of stress, there is a path you can take that will help you get back on the track and living optimally. Come learn how essential oils and aromatherapy can empower you to relieve stress.
This Monday through Thursday, homecoming-themed can art will be shown in the Student Union. Students annually complete to build a structure of canned goods and paper, creating a visual design that incorporates the homecoming theme and their organization. Students build their structures inside the union, and creations remain on display throughout homecoming week. After homecoming, the canned goods are donated to the Maryville Ministry Center and on-campus food pantry. Students may vote on the favorite canned art structures by donating canned or boxed goods.
On Wednesday, October 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Union Ballroom Meeting Room A and B, the Wellness Fair begins. In alignment with the University Seminar, the Wellness Fair brings together departments on campus that will help contribute to students' well-being. Come enjoy free food, games, and prizes. There will be free flu shots available for Northwest students as well as free HIV testing.
On Wednesday, October 18th from 6 to 9 p.m. in the Union Student Engagement Center, the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion will be hosting a game night. Northwest students are invited to enjoy an evening of entertainment with cards, board games, and video game tournaments, as well as a virtual reality station. Food and drinks will be provided.
On Wednesday, October 18th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. in the Ron Houston Performing Arts Center, a part of homecoming activities, comedian Brent Pella will be performing. Pella is a stand-up comedian from California who was featured on MTV's Greatest Party Stories Ever and recently completed the Spring Brent 2017 comedy tour of clubs and schools throughout the country. The show is free and doors open at 6:30 p.m. For more information about Pella, visit www.brentpella.org.
On Thursday, October 19th from 7 to 10 p.m. in the Ron Houston Performing Arts Center, the Homecoming Committee presents the variety show and royalty crowning. The variety show is Northwest tradition that features skits, audio acts, and amazing MCs. The homecoming royalty will be introduced and the crowning will take place after the show. Tickets are available in the cashier office and the first floor of the administration building. The event is free and is open to the public.
On Friday, October 20th, it's Walkout Day. Walkout Day is Northwest tradition of canceling Friday classes the day before homecoming. Walkout Day activities are hosted by the Student Activities Council and will include the International Flag Raising Ceremony at 2 p.m. at the Joyce and Harvey White International Plaza, as well as a variety show at 7 p.m.
On Friday, October 20th from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. at the FLEST Alumni Center, the Northwest community is invited to a ribbon cutting and dedication of Michael L. FLEST Center for Alumni and Friends. A reception will be prior to the ceremony at 4 p.m. with tours afterwards. The ceremony will mark the completion of an expansion of the Alumni House that was made possible throughout a $1 million gift by the Suzanne and Walter Scott Foundation of Omaha in honor of FLEST. The donation was his support of Scott's civic and philanthropic activities, his 36 years of service to Peter Hewitt Sons Incorporated, and his loyalty to Northwest.
On Saturday, October 21st at 9 a.m., the homecoming parade will begin. The route begins at the corner of Ray and College Avenue and travels east on 4th Street. It features more than 100 entries, including bands and floats, sponsored by campus and community organizations, as well as local schools and businesses.
Well, that's all for your Northwest Event Report. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more recent news and events. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
And I'm Alex Sanchez.
Wildfires are raging in California. New evacuations were ordered last Tuesday evening as more than a dozen wildfires spread across Northern California, with the largest one killing at least 17 people. Around 2,000 homes and buildings were destroyed. Around 100 people are being treated in hospitals for fire-related injuries, and more than 180 people have been reported missing. The wildfires have already burned over 115,000 acres of land, with more to come.
Last week, we discussed how WNBA team decided to stay in the locker room during the national anthem because they were following the NFL's footsteps. This week, the NFL may start requiring players to stand during the national anthem. Many NFL teams have worsened punishments against players who do not stand. The practice started to receive national attention during the 2016 preseason when former San Francisco quarterback Colin Kaepernick sat while the national anthem played. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said that players who don't stand won't play. Jones' stance received praise from U.S. President Donald Trump, who previously suggested NFL owners should fire players who chose to kneel during the anthem.
North Korean hackers allegedly stole classified military documents from a South Korean Defense Ministry database in September 2016, according to Ri Chol-lee, a member of South Korea's National Assembly. Ri told Ann on Tuesday that he received information about alleged hacking from the Defense Ministry. He said that the documents stolen included the South Korean U.S. wartime operational plan and a document that includes procedures to decapitate the North Korean leadership. The Pentagon declined to comment specifically on reports of the potential breach, but spokesman Colonel Robert Manning said that the U.S. is confident in the security of our operation plans and our ability to deal with any threat from North Korea.
A South Korean lawmaker has revealed that in August 2016, North Korean hackers managed to break into the computer system of the South Korean army. He said they made off with as many as 235 gigabytes of data. Among the information they got their hands on, according to this lawmaker, was what is known as O-Plan 5015, the plan to decapitate or take out the North Korean leadership, including, of course, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Now, it's not known exactly what else they were able to get away with. U.S. and South Korean officials are neither confirming nor denying this story, but they insist that the plans they have not been hacked. That is, the plans they currently have. Now, the North Koreans have a formidable cyber army. In February of 2016, experts believe that North Korean hackers were able to break into the New York Federal Reserve's special account for the Central Bank of Bangladesh, getting away with $81 million. However, this is a two-way street. In 2010, the United States, according to documents revealed by WikiLeaks, was able to break into the computer system of North Korea's intelligence agency. There's not a hot war yet in the Korean Peninsula, but the cyber war has already begun. I'm Ben Wiedemann reporting from Seoul, South Korea.
This hurricane season has battered the Atlantic and Caribbean with several brutal storms. Though their fury has passed, there are hundreds of thousands of people still feeling the effects. South Texas was devastated by Harvey floods. Cities in South Florida were heavily damaged by Irma. Areas in the Caribbean like Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic have been hit hard by multiple storms. Louisiana and other Gulf Coast states have also had to deal with multiple landfalls in the last 2 months.
This year, 56 million sockeye salmon swam hundreds of miles from the ocean toward the rivers and streams of Bristol Bay watershed in southwest Alaska. More than 15 years, Northern Dynasty Minerals, a Canadian mining company, has sought to build a gold and copper mine in Bristol Bay. And this spring, the Trump administration took swift action to make that prospect even more likely. The Environmental Protection Agency head, Scott Pruitt, met on May 1st with the CEO of Pebble Limited Partnership, a subsidiary of the mining company. Little more than an hour later, the administrator directed his staff to reverse Obama-era protections for Bristol Bay. Pebble still would have to apply for permits before building a mine in Bristol Bay. 2 public hearings will be held in Alaska on the topic this week. The public has until October 17th to comment on Pruitt's proposal policy reversal before it could be finalized.
School surveillance cameras captured a heartwarming moment when an 11-year-old girl learns she would be adopted. A judge approved her foster parents' petition to adopt her and her 2 younger siblings.
It's like the biggest thing that's ever happened to me.
11-year-old Tana just spent the last 2 years wishing the judge would make her foster parents her forever parents.
They're just caring, loving, they take really good care of me.
And then last Monday, her friend, Miss Jackie.
We're just little friends, we're just little buddies.
The office manager at her school walked in with amazing news.
And I grabbed her shoulders and I just said, "Have you heard the news, baby? Have you heard, honey? You get your forever family."
My heart was so happy He was like, ah, I was like screaming.
Tana was so happy the adoption was final, she could not let go of Miss Jackie.
She just kept holding me tight. She just held me tighter and tighter. And so I took advantage of that and I just kissed her up one side and down the other.
She's easy to cling on to.
Tana's mom is grateful the security camera at school recorded the moment.
It just made me feel like, oh my gosh, we've done the right thing.
It was all so beautiful. Miss Jackie shared the video.
I just need to let people know that, yeah, that there's a lot going on in the world and there's a lot of sadness that we see. But you know what? There's joy that happens every day.
Tana hopes people watch this and remember that if you wish for something long enough, it may just come true.
Never, ever, ever give up.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week.
For more information on stories that matter to you, like us on Facebook at /Watch Channel 8 News and follow us on Twitter on KNWT 8 News.
The KXTV Bearcat Coaches Show is up next. From all of us here at Channel 8 News, I'm Annastasia Tuttle.
And I'm Alex Sanchez. Have a good night.